numbers, Mason? What do they mean? I sincerely apologize for that intro. I'm just at the point of being a goof with these videos because what else is left? So welcome back to another stats video here on How Bored. I am Christian and I will be your host for today. And we're going to be talking about our board game journey. And quick spoiler alert, I already lost a challenge. I'm sorry. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But as the usual stuff goes, we're going to be going through this handy dandy notebook here to talk about my board game goals for the year of 2026 and how I'm keeping up with them. And then afterwards we're going to talk about my monthly stats on how many plays I got, what I played, and what was great, and what's awesome, and let's get into it. So starting off, as per usual in the notebook, we have our 1,000 annual plays challenge, which we are actually killing it on right now. February was a little bit of a slow month, but March, we started bringing it back with 91 total plays. Not my best month yet so far, but it was actually pretty close and really not all that bad, all things considered. I'm actually impressed I got that many plays. I really didn't think it was going to be that much. And I got a lot more plays with my wife this month, which is great. And we'll talk more about that in our third challenge, but I got some good amount of plays in and a lot more multiplayer than I'm used to, which was really nice. Well, I guess mostly two-player, but, you know, there was some others in there. So really proud about that. We're staying on track, actually a bit ahead of schedule because we're at almost 300 plays roughly. We're like 20 to 30 shy, somewhere around there, of 300 plays after only 3 months in. And so yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're staying well on track. The second challenge is our 10 by 10 plays. Now I mentioned last month that I got Lairs, and I think I had a play on that before the month ended because it... Sorry, I'm taking that off because it's bugging me. I got one play on it because it showed up like the weekend before the month ended, so I had just a little bit of time to get a game in, which was nice. But Lairs, we're already up to 5. We're already halfway done with that game because it is just so fun and addicting, and it's so easy to set up and play too. It takes like an hour in total for the whole game, and I absolutely love it. There's stuff you can unlock in it as you play more of it, and it's just... Chef's kiss. KTBG really nailed it on Lairs. I'm definitely going to have to do a review of that game soon because I am absolutely enamored with it. As far as the other games, I didn't make any more progress on Knitting Circle. I just wasn't feeling it this month. I had a lot of other stuff going on, a lot of other games I wanted to play, and it just wasn't really a game that I wanted to get to, so I left it off to the side for now. But it's a short and easy enough game that I can just kind of like speed run through it easily enough that I might do that here before too long, just to kind of get it done and out of the way, but we'll see. It's not a bad game, it's just not, like, my typical game style, not my cup of tea, really, but it's not bad, so I'll play more of it. Next is Endeavor Deep Sea, which I did get at least one more play. I want to say I was at, like, 4 plays last month. I just watched the video, and I can't even remember now how many I was at, but now we are at 7 plays of Endeavor. We're getting really close on that one. And I just finished mission 6, so I'm actually going to end up going over 10 plays because I want to get through all the missions. The problem is that I don't like moving on from missions until I complete their objectives, and a lot of the times I just don't because they're so hard, especially when solo. Trying to get the amount that they request out of you is tough. So I've kind of started getting to the point where I'm like, I will come back and redo those later, but I just want to get through and see all the missions. I want to know what they're all like so I can experience them all, and then I'll come back and like master each one. But the 6th mission I actually ended up beating on the first try, so, you know, I'm not mad about that at all. So 7 plays on Endeavor, got 3 more to go to finish that for the challenge, but obviously I'm going to keep playing it afterwards because the next one is Final Girl, which last month I already had 10 plays of for the year, and I've still been playing more and more of it. I'm just so obsessed with Final Girl now. It's almost become unhealthy, but we'll get to that later. I did make my first official swap on the 10 by 10 list, and I'm hoping it's the only one that I'm going to do for the year, because otherwise it's just going to make it tougher on myself. So I cut Night Cage off the list. I was only 3 plays of it, and there was no way I was going to enjoy getting through 10 plays of that game. Because it's not... So Night Cage isn't a bad game. The problem is I feel like I've already solved it. So playing a game 10 times that I feel like I've already explored to the point of knowing exactly what to do each and every game to basically guarantee success, it feels a little bit rough. There's like some scenarios that can end up happening where I lose, but that's not like exciting enough. When you're winning 95% of the time, why would you play for the 5% chance that you might lose? There's no real tension in that. There's no real excitement in that. It's a good game, and for a lot of people, I would still recommend it. For some reason, for me specifically, it just clicked super early, and it didn't take me a whole lot to feel like I solved the game. Especially when playing solo. If I was playing like multiplayer co-op and we were doing the whole silent rules where you can't talk to each other unless you're like in the same hallway, then sure, I could see that being a bit tougher and a bit more suspenseful, and that's probably how the game was intended to be played. Sadly, that's not a situation I find myself in a lot, so trying to get 10 plays in that type of situation for me is like basically impossible. So I did have to scratch that off, and I substituted it for another game, which I already had on here for fun anyways. I just put in Expeditions in its place, and we're already at 6 plays of that. Just got that at the start of January, and I'm already 6 plays deep in Expeditions. Obviously still not as good as Scythe, but it is a fun game nonetheless, and I've been really enjoying it. The nice kind of engine building aspect of it, manipulating your actions just right to get exactly what you need and time things perfectly. It's still a very fun and satisfying game, and I think after these 10 plays I will consider it, worth my while to own it. Also because I want to have the Expeditions versus Scythe game that's coming out actually here pretty soon, to my knowledge, which I'm very excited for. That was mostly why I wanted that game, and so getting through 10 plays of it to make sure I really, really understand it before getting that will be really nice. Next up on the list is Wyrmspan. I don't think I played it all this month. I got 5 plays listed on here, and I think that's where I was at the end of February. I could be wrong. I might have played it once since then, but I think I did play it once, because I got the Wyrmspan Dragon Academy expansion, so yeah, I played it once with that, and I believe that was in March, so one more play on that, not bad. Septima, we're up to 6 plays. I played it at least one more time, because I just played it yesterday, and I'm sorry, I am recording this on April 6th, so the Septima one it should only be at 5 for the month of March, but unfortunately, I was a little bit busier this month, especially right at the end. If you couldn't tell, I went on a little trip, and I'll give you one hint as to where I went. So, I probably can't really see that all that well. It's kind of rough for the camera, but yeah, my wife and I took a trip to Las Vegas with some friends, so I just got back like a few days ago, and that's why I'm recording this a little bit later. So some of these stats hopefully aren't too messed up, but they are going to be a little bit messed up. But you know what? We're just going to roll with it, because this is when we're recording it, and it's my channel, so things go. So that's it for the 10x10. We're making pretty decent progress on it. Let me tally up the total amount that we're at here. I had it last night, and I already forgot. If my math is right, we are at 43 plays so far, after just 3 months of the year. So we're killing it. We're almost halfway in just April, and I think I might even actually end up hitting that halfway mark during April, and I'm going to be really happy for that, because that'll give me leeway for the 3 games I have still coming on the 10x10, so that'll be really nice to be able to just hammer those out at the end of the year and not have to worry about much. Okay, so that's it for the 10x10. Let's go to the no more than 10 games purchased, and this is where I already lost a challenge. Little spoiler alert, Vegas was a bit of fun, and not all of this is from Vegas, but we're a little deep in the hole, and this isn't even all the games that I got this month, so yeah. I will still use this segment as a chance to show off the new games that I got to my collection, whether it be ones that I just bought or like Kickstarter fulfillments, things like that. So we'll just kind of go through these really quick. I'm going to have to try to be really quick on them, because there's a lot here, and I don't want this video to take forever. So, starting off here, we have Dragons of Etch and Stone. If you're not familiar with this is a Chip Theory Games game. I always hate saying games twice. That is just a deck of cards that you're playing solo in your hand. Like, it's literally just a palm game where you get like a bunch of spells and stuff in one hand, and then you got like your enemies and stuff in your left hand, and then you're just trying to cast spells in such a way to beat those enemies, level those cards up to make them stronger, and build yourself up to be ready to defeat a boss. If you take damage, then you just downgrade your cards and soak up damage. It's actually a really cool system. I want to get pretty proficient with it, and then I'm definitely going to look into the expansions for it. But it is a really nice, solid, solo-only game. About 30 minutes long, impressively enough, that just plays in the palm of your hands. For the tutorial, they do recommend like playing it on a table so you can see it all laid out a bit better, and I did do that for a little bit, and then of course I had to play in my palms because I was very excited about it. Loving this game so far. I really can't wait to like delve into this and really go deep. But yeah, it's literally like 20 cards and a rule book in this box, and then you can get expansions for it, which is super cool. But yeah, being a mage, taking down dragons in the palm of your hand, who could ask for a better experience? So that's number one. Number two, this was actually just something I got from the game store that I visited. The shout out to Night and Day Games down in Las Vegas. Store is super awesome, lots of cool games. I'm going to have a few pictures up here of games that I was kind of eyeballing as I'm talking. Store was awesome. They had a little deal going on, or if you spent $35 on games, you got a free demo. And my free demo was this Unlock the Escape Room game. I think this is Escape the Iron Mask is what it's called. So I'm going to try this out. It's probably only going to be like a one-session playthrough, which is fine. But, it's a demo. It was free just to be able to like explore the system and see if it's something that I want to get into. I love the idea of escape rooms and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of, like, one-time games. You play them once and then you can pass them on to someone else, but once they're done, like, you can't really go back and replay it. I'm not the biggest fan of those. Sometimes I'll make the exception, like Micro Macro, but that one's got, like, so many cases. I'm still working on that. Sherlock Holmes, same thing. Like, you get a ton of time out of them to where it doesn't feel as bad that you can't replay them, but I don't know. We'll see on these if that's something that I'll be into. So there's that. This one I actually didn't buy. This one was a gift, and that is Flip 7 with a Vengeance. My dad had this pre-ordered. I'm sorry, the box is a little messed up because it did travel with me, and I'm a little bit of an idiot with that. So, but Flip 7 with a Vengeance, literally just normal Flip 7, but there's different modifier cards and things to make you evil. Like, you just get to be evil to other players instead of trying to defend yourself. So, Flip 7 of the Vengeance, I played it once, it was pretty good, but it was like, it was literally right before the Vegas trip that I got it, and we didn't really get a chance to play it while we were on the trip, so that is totally fine. Oops, hello, that's on the ground now. Another purchase from Night and Day Games that I got here was Fliptoons. Finally got myself into it. This did come with the button expansion, like that mini expansion. So far, really good. I've only played it solo like 3 times, maybe 4 times already. I don't know. It's really addicting. Like, I didn't think I was going to be huge into this because of the randomness aspect, but there's so much that you could do to set up that randomness system. And I was so worried about this, but I was like, $20, a lot of people have been raving about it. I've been curious. I've watched videos on it. It doesn't seem that bad. I feel like I'm just hating for no reason, and really I was. It's quite an enjoyable game, actually. I'm really happy I picked it up. I can't wait to try it multiplayer because it does seem like there's going to be a lot more to it when you're playing multiplayer. But the solo mode itself is pretty good and actually surprisingly challenging, so been having some fun with Fliptoons. Not too much to say there because so many people have been talking about that game earlier this year, and I think like at the end of last year. Next up is French Toast. This is a game that I actually somehow missed. I only ended up finding this because Allplay sent an email. It's, sending their, like, thanky party games line. And I didn't know this existed. I thought this was a brand new game that was coming out. Turns out it got released in 2021. Must have kind of fallen under the radar, but I've been playing Things and Rings. I absolutely love Things and Rings. So this was kind of the natural next step. And, my wife ended up really taking to this game a lot more than Things and Rings. Like, she is obsessed with this game, and it really does only take like 5 minutes to play, depending on how many people you have. And, well, there's also a timer on it anyway, so it's like 5 to 10 minutes for a game. And it's super easy. It's just literally hot or cold, basically, but you have one person who's an alien who gets a hidden noun, and then all of the humans in the group need to try to figure out what that noun is by basically doing a hot or cold system. So the alien will start out by saying French toast, and then the humans will try to say words that are closer to that noun than the previously said words. So alien starts with French toast, maybe the word is like cricket, and you say like tree as a human. You say tree, and so the alien, instead of saying French toast, is now saying tree. And you're just progressively trying to get closer and closer, and after a 30-second timer, the alien will drop out a new, like, adjective to try to lead you in the direction of that is literally on a hot or cold scale with the adjectives. I'm explaining it poorly, but it's a really simple and really fun game once you get into it. And we already have 38 plays of this game. We'll get more to that in the actual stats section, but French Toast was a huge success of a purchase. I'm very happy about that. Next, this one we just got out at Walmart. It was nothing special. This is cats knocking things off ledges. I actually found this at Night and Day Games as well, but of course I already had it by that point. It's just a dexterity game where you're building up this tower, and then you're putting toys and cats on it, and you're using like a little paw thing to bap the toys off the tower, and you want them to go as far down the tower as possible while still staying on the structure. Without knocking anything over. If you can manage that, then you'll get points based on how far down it went, and it's a 1 to 10 game. It's really tough. It's a very tough dexterity game, but it is super silly and super funny, and I absolutely love it. I definitely recommend checking this one out if you're a dexterity fan, or even if you're not, just, take a little look at it, see if it might be something you'd be interested in. It's very goofy, silly fun, and I am here for that, especially if it's one that my wife enjoys. So that one has also been a pretty good winner. I've only played it once so far, but I know that it'll get some it'll get some table time in the future. Next up here, another Night and Day Games purchase is Enemies and Lovers from Van Ryder Games. This is actually based on the Elfheim series by Holly Black. There we go. So this is actually based on a book series, which is quite impressive, but it's just a very clever kind of card game where you're trying to build a court in... where you're trying to build a court in this universe to be able to rule this kingdom, and you're doing that by building a set of 4 cards. You need, what was it? Prince, a conspirator, oh my god, what were all the 4? There was one more thing, and then the crown. But there's only one crown in the entire deck, so like everybody is fighting to get that and then put it into their court. And there's a lot of clever stuff in this game. I've only gotten to play it once, and it was like kind of a trial run for my wife. She's not too familiar with this style of game, but she really wanted to play this. So we're going to practice on it, and we're going to get some good plays in with it, but I think it's going to be very clever in the long run, super quick and super easy. It's literally just a deck of tarot cards. The gameplay is super simple, but there's like some little niche interactions and like things that you need to know. It's not too crazy, not too involved, but it looks like it'll be a ton of fun, so I'm very excited to get some more plays on that. And next here to carry on with the statement earlier of my Final Girl addiction being rough, we got a few pickups here. So I finally got the box of props because I've been obsessing over this. I wanted it for the chunky final health tokens, but I'm staying for everything else because there's actually a lot of really cool stuff in the box of props box, which, well, actually I can't really say that because currently it's empty and I just put all of the stuff in the core box, but I wanted to hold on to this anyways because, well, it's a Final Girl box. Why would I get rid of it? So I'm really enjoying having those extra bits and the nice upgraded components. It's chef's kiss. Then early on in the month, like literally right after I recorded the stats video last month, I'm pretty sure, I picked up A Rotten Harvest. This one I've had my eye on, and I wanted to get it at the same time as The Demon of the Shadows and Shriek. But my budget at the time, I had to cut back on a game, and this was the one that I ended up cutting, and then I went back and I got it anyways. And then I got it with the box of props. These two were a simultaneous purchase, but really enjoying this. I like Grimlash as a killer. I love Shady Acres as the location with the children in there. I can't wait to do Terror from the Grave in Shady Acres. That sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. Overall, loving this box. And then at Night and Day Games as well, I picked up Bad Times at Buddyland. It was between this and the Falconwood Files, and I let my wife choose, and this is what she landed on, so this is what I got. And I've played it twice now. I played it once as Billy the Bear, and then I did do Terror from the Grave in this location as well, which was a ton of fun. Lots of goofy stuff in here. I love the janitor parts of it because if you don't know, my day job is I'm a custodian. So I absolutely love that. I got to play around with the mop and use it as an actual deadly weapon, and then I also ran into a janitor who had to deal with a collapsed room right next to his closet, so that was fun. Really enjoying those so far. Of course, it's Final Girl, so I'm going to be enamored with them. And lastly here, the one big game that we got this month. I'm sorry if my mic's kind of messed up. But this is the one big game I got this month, and I've already printed an insert for it because I'm a sucker for good inserts, but that is Fortunes of Scoundrel Bay. It is a pirate-themed Euro game, and that was pretty much the entire sell on why I got it. I've played it a couple times solo so far, and it's pretty decent. I think this game is going to shine multiplayer, which is funny because it's a Euro game, so there's not really a lot of player interaction, but I think the race and the competition of this game will be so much more exciting when you're doing a multiplayer. The solo bot isn't bad. I probably am just not running it correctly as part of the problem as well. Like the first game, it absolutely annihilated me. And the second game, it was a bit closer, but I think I stomped it pretty good still. I think it's just a matter of I need to figure out the AI as well to make the solo mode a lot better. It's not bad either way. I do love this game. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in here and a lot of different ways to approach and score it, which is impressive because it's literally just one map. You have one track to race around Scoundrel Bay and try to complete all of these objectives that you're working on. There are some frustrating moments where, like, you know, you're trying to do something and the car that you need doesn't come up, but I also, like, there's a mechanic that I completely forget, and that screws me over. So really, a lot of the time, it's my fault. I need further exploration with this game to really understand it and get into it. Kind of similar to how I was with, like, Final Girl and Septima. I kind of bounced off those games until I came back and, like, really figured them out. So I'll keep playing it. I mean, I haven't had a bad time with it yet. It just hasn't felt like amazing times, but again, I think that will come with playing it more and then trying it in multiplayer as well, as where the real fun of this game is going to be. And I do still get enough situations where I can play like 2 to 3 players, so this should end up being perfect for that. So I'm very excited to see that. But overall, a good game, and I just heard a lot of pieces rattle, and now I'm terrified to open that box. So we're going to put it there and not think about it until the next time I play it, and make that a future me problem. Okay, so there's that part of the challenges, given that one I lost, but, you know, we're just going to look past that part and carry on. So for the last one here, this is, again, not a goal or a challenge. This is just keeping track of stuff. My top 20 in review, I'm going to give you the brief highlights on my top 20 games and where they sit with me now. We're just going to get into this here. So, Scythe and Ostia still holding their spot strong at first and second place. Final Girl in third. Septima actually jumped all the way up to fourth. It went from 9th to 10th, and now it's up to fourth, because I've played it again a couple more times, and the more I play it, I just absolutely love it. And I also just backed Voidfall with the expansion, and I'm looking at it, and there's a lot of similarities between it and Septima, which is funny, because they're both Mind Clash games. They're two totally different themes, and they do have enough differences in the system to be, like, distinguishable games without a problem, but I'm just noticing, like, the limited amount of turns and the playing out one card to determine, like, what your actions are for the turn, but, like, it can give you a lot of things to do, and you can really snowball off of that one card. And it's just been such a good experience. I've only been playing Septima solo so far, too, which is even more impressive, because I think that is a game that's going to shine best at 3 players. Where you can really get into that negotiation aspect, but playing it solo as just an efficiency puzzle has been a ton of fun, and I've been really enjoying that. And I've even been diving into the mini expansions, the Shapeshifting and Omens expansions, which have been a lot of fun as well. Shapeshifting way better than Omens, but Omens is a nice little add-on, like an extra thing to manage and then get bonuses or debuffs on. They both have their pluses and minuses. So that's at number 4. That jumped up. Gazebo is officially kicked off the list because newly added onto it is French Toast at number 15. I got Things and Rings at 14, this at 15. I do think Things and Rings is still just a little bit better than French Toast, but I still love French Toast. That has been nothing but fun. Other notable changes here. Let me see. I don't think there's anything else that's too crazy. Oh, Nucleum jumped all the way up to 6. I actually goofed up here. This is, Isle of Cats is also supposed to be bumped off, because I totally missed Revive here, which is going to be at number 7. Okay, yeah, everything got, like, I need to, like, cascade everything here. My apologies for that. Honey Buzz is at number 10. I'll kind of keep talking as I'm still going. And a lot of other things didn't really, like, move, you know. Spooktacular shifted a couple spots, but Honey Buzz going all the way from 5 to 10 is kind of rough. I did play it again. This month just to really enjoy it. But it does feel like I've explored a good enough amount of that game that I'm not really going to be getting too much replay value out of it. Most other people that I play with don't really care for the game, which sucks. I love the game. Just not enough to justify it being that high up on my list anymore, unfortunately. I still absolutely love it. I will still root for it at every turn. And in my heart, it'll always be in that top 5, but I just can't justify it actually being there on the list just for reasons of I'm only ever going to play it by myself, and I'm not really going to play it all that frequently. So, as far as that goes, though, I don't think there's really anything else to note. So, yeah, we've lost Gazebo and Isle of Cats have fallen off the list officially to make way for those new games here. So, all is well there. All is looking good. And that's it for all the challenge stuff. So now we can talk actual stats, and then I'll let you be on your way if you haven't left already. So again, for the month of March, we got a total of 91 plays across 31 different games, and 8 of which were new to me. So at number 1 most played, obviously that's gonna be French Toast with, it was 35 plays of French Toast that I got. And I've played that with a few different people, and it's been a blast every time. My win rate is 57% currently, so that's actually pretty good. Out of 35 plays, I gotta say, that's not terrible. Really not surprised that was my most played game. Number 2, again, was Ransom. I don't even remember playing it that much. It must have been right at the start of the month. I have 6 plays of that. Pretty drastic drop off there. Layers, we got 4 plays of. Final Girl, we got 4 plays of. I busted out Turing Machine again, and I played that 3 more times because that was just good. Spirit Island I got a couple more plays of. Oh, that was another game. I forgot about that one. I did buy Spirit Island this month, or March as well. So that is now in my collection. I totally forgot about that. But I got 2 plays of that. Fortune's Scoundrel Bay, got 2 plays of that. 2 plays of Endeavor. 2 plays of Septima. As I should finish the new to me games. I got 2 plays of the Main 1 Compile box. Compile, Main 1 is technically the title. Night and Day Games, I did see Compile Main 2, and I almost picked it up, but I'm not really going to be playing it all that often, myself. I'm going to be playing it with my dad, who owns the Main 1 box, so I just I let it slide, because I can always order it later, but Compile, actually a really cool game, nice little lane battler. I'm not the biggest fan of lane battlers, but I love the way that Compile approaches it, because you get to build your, 3 lanes, basically, and what types of effects you're going to be playing based on what you go with, like light, dark, poison, metal, fire, all these different, asymmetric kind of lanes that you can pick that will build your deck as well for what you get to play with. It's really unique, and it's a lot of fun. I quite enjoy it. Outside of that, I played 2 times Row Your Goat. This is a game I got for Christmas that we just finally got played this last month here. My wife loves it. It's tic-tac-toe meets Egyptian rat screw. You get goats that are on different types of watercraft, as well as different colors. There's blue, yellow, pink, and then there's life rafts, life preservers, wood rafts, ski jets. And you just need to get 3 of any kind in a row, whether it's the same type of watercraft or the same color, and then you want to slap the table and grab a life preserver before everyone else. It's also got a little bit of musical chairs to it. It's really weird, but it's a lot of fun, and it's really goofy. So of course my wife loves it, and that's why she got it for me. One time this month, I got to play PAX Premier 2nd Edition. My dad picked that up. He's a big Cole Wehrle fan. I won't necessarily say that I bounced off of it. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. It's probably an adjustment thing for me. I need to get used to it and just be more familiar with that game. That first play was a bit rough. Obviously pretty tense, because that's just what Cole Wehrle does. And it's not bad. I don't mind the game. I do want to explore it more to be more familiar with it and be more ready to, do things in the game. My Euro brain is not prepped for a game like that. Next up here is Flips Under the Vengeance. Brought that up. We played that once. And Cats Knocking Things Off Ledges I played once as well. And then lastly, we got to play for the first time my board game, my prototype, Gas Giants. I don't really have a whole lot to show you. As far as that goes, it's pretty much all just pencil and paper type stuff right now with some components. But it was a nice first play. There's a lot of balancing stuff that I need to get taken care of, but overall the system feels pretty decent. I don't think there's too many tweaks as far as that goes. I think it's just properly balancing some numbers to make it feel a bit more smooth, but overall it was pretty solid. I definitely am looking forward to exploring more of that. But that's going to be a long time coming. It's kind of like a background thing. I'm not mainly focusing on that. It's just when I have the time and I'm in the mood for it, I'm, tweaking with it and fiddling with it. I had a huge burst last year of just hammering through it as much as I could. And now it's just kind of, getting there and messing with it when I can. I don't expect to have it done anytime soon, but it was fun to play a game that I crafted in my mind. Even if it's not like fully finished and polished, it was still just a fun time. So, I think that's going to do it for the stats this month, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not going to waste up too much more of your time. So, as always, thank you so much for joining. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if you don't, that's fine. Not everything has to be for everybody. I promise I'm still working on those Final Girl videos. They have been shot. I'm working on B-roll and editing right now. I didn't have as much time and energy as I thought during the month of March to work on that. So, I do apologize for that, but I am still slowly working on it in the background. Thank you guys so much. I'll stop rambling. See you next time. Peace out.